How we doing today, everybody? It's Watch Display here. Today I have another review and I thank you kindly for joining. If you like my videos or like my Instagram photos, please give me a like and subscribe. It definitely helps a ton. And sorry I haven't been able to give a whole lot of content lately. Today I have for you the Omega Seamaster Professional 300M. And this specifically is the 2250-450. And there's something cool about this one. They deem this one the 2254 plus, or sometimes people call it the 2254 non-AC. What exactly does that mean? Well, everything on this watch is the standard OEM 2254, except it has a non-AC, so non-America's Cup AC dial. And it's of course from the OEM non-AC model, which has the white gold bezel. So what does that translate to? So if you really look closely, you'll look around the lume, and the lume is actually surrounded in white gold markers. And you'll also notice that the Omega logo is applied in white gold. And on the standard model, the standard 2250-450, it does not have this. So the lume plots are just there and they kind of just slowly downslope and they're on the dial, and then the Omega logo is printed. So this one has that upgrade, which I feel like definitely gives it a more luxurious look. The lume is just as bright as the standard 2254 model. It just gives it a little bit of an upgrade, and I think it actually looks great. And you'll also notice this one has a kind of orangish red, but it's more orange versus the red lollipop hand. And this one comes from, it's an OEM hand that comes from the planet Ocean. So what I like about that is you notice it looks kind of like a little bow and arrow or a dart, or it kind of has an arrow shape, which actually, in my opinion, matches the dagger style sword hands much better than the lollipop. I think it actually looks better with this second hand. So that's kind of the upgraded option. Now you can get these, and they don't make it for this model like as an OEM part, but you can't upgrade this insert that's aluminum. You can upgrade it to the aluminum. This is aluminum, my apologies. You can update it to ceramic, but it would be non-OEM. I've also seen this, people actually pop this bezel off, and it's a direct, literally you just get the same bezel assembly from the Planet Ocean, and you can put the Planet Ocean bezel on this model. I personally prefer this bezel insert over the other one, just how legible it is. And you'll see that this watch is in immaculate condition. It is almost flawless. The side cases have no scratches. You'll see a few very light swirls just from use. That's probably from me wearing it, and it's rubbing up against my shirt cuff or my white coat. The insert has no scratches on it. In certain lighting, you can tell it's starting to fade a little bit. A little bit of the polished area on top that's on top of the actual aluminum is starting to kind of wear down with the sun or whatever the elements that are causing it to break down a little bit. And the dial is spotless. Bracelet is honestly almost spotless. You'll see it's super clean. You'll see a very small abrasion right there. It's probably from a desk or even me resting my arm against something. And there are some, I'm not even going to call them scratches or desk stabs. These are almost like abrasions. And I could have been wearing, this could have been rubbing against the underside of my white coat, which is a very thick material. But overall, the clasp is still in really good shape, as well as the side finish on here. You'll see some fingerprints, but all in all, the finish is really good still on this one, which is really hard to come by on this reference. Now, you'll see some marks on the inside of the clasp, but that is not like actual wear. that it literally just marks from opening and closing the clasp. So those are actually just normal. It happens with time with the friction on this clasp. You also can upgrade this clasp. You do have to buy 2 different end pieces to connect it to, but you can also upgrade this clasp to the micro adjustment clasp that they have on the 300M diver now. I personally prefer the look of this, even though it doesn't have any micro adjustments. I prefer the look of this just because how cohesive it is, how thin it keeps the clasp. The newer one is substantially wider and thicker, and this one also has the diver's extension, which you could put on a dive suit, or you could put it on top of like coat in the winter. Not here in Florida though, no coats. But all in all, this is an excellent watch. You'll see underside of the watch is pretty much flawless too. It's an extremely good example. I am going to list this one for sale. Check out my Instagram at Watch Display on Instagram to get information on that, and it's already listed right now on the forums. So feel free to message me in regards to this watch. But everything is original on the watch. So, you know, the dial is an OEM dial. It just comes from this same model, but with the white gold non-AC America's Cup model. So it's still the same case size and everything. It's just a different reference number. And then the second hand comes from the Planet Ocean. But all in all, it's an excellent example. Here's what it looks like on my 6.75 inch wrist. And it's a little big on me. So I suspect that this one will wear up over a 7-inch wrist. And of course, these links, you could always get more links for it. I would not turn this option down in terms of buying it because maybe the bracelet is too small on you, because it is really hard to find these in this condition. I mean, you can see how crisp the edges are. My guess is this watch is unpolished because, or it was polished by Omega, because the polishing is literally so close to OEM. And the edges are still so sharp with the contrasting polish markers that I would highly think that this is unpolished, even though I'm not going to market it as that because I have no way to prove it. This one does come with the big box, which is like the newer Omega box, and it comes with the manual as well as the pictogram holder, so the card holder, but it does not come with pictograms. But feel free to message me on this one, and thank you for giving me a view, and check me out on Instagram if you're interested in this watch. I'd be happy to work a deal out with you. Thanks in advance. Bye-bye.